In the ancient world, power did not belong to the many. It belonged to the few. Decisions were not debated, voted on, or questioned. They were spoken by kings and enforced without appeal. Entire nations lived under the weight of royal authority, where survival depended not only on strength, but on timing, wisdom, and silence. This is the world where the story of Esther begins. To understand her story, we must first understand the empire she lived in. The Persian Empire was the greatest political power of its age. It stretched across continents, uniting diverse cultures, languages, and peoples under a single rule. Roads connected distant provinces, laws were standardized, taxes flowed toward the center, and at the heart of this vast system stood the royal city of Susa. Susa was more than a capital. It was a symbol of dominance. The palace within it was designed to impress, intimidate, and remind everyone of who was in control. Its walls were covered in gold. Its halls echoed with celebration. Its gardens reflected order and precision. Everything about the palace communicated power. From this palace, King Ahasuerus ruled. He was not just a political leader. He was seen as the embodiment of authority itself. His commands were absolute. His emotions could shape policy. His favor could elevate someone instantly, and his displeasure could erase them just as quickly. Royal banquets were a regular part of life in the palace. These events lasted days, sometimes weeks. They were not only about pleasure, they were public displays of power, wealth, and stability. Every guest, every servant, every official was reminded that the king ruled without challenge. During one of these grand celebrations, something happened that seemed small at the time, yet would quietly redirect history. Influenced by excess, pride, and the desire to display his control, the king ordered that Queen Vashti appear before his guests. This command was not about honor. It was about visibility and possession. Vashti understood this immediately. She also understood the risk of refusal. In a system built on obedience, saying no was dangerous, yet she refused. Her decision shocked the royal court. No one expected resistance, especially from the queen. Advisors feared the precedent it might set. If a queen could refuse the king, what would stop others from questioning authority? The response was swift. Vashti was removed from her position. Her crown was taken. Her name faded from influence. To the empire, it appeared as justice. To history, it was preparation. With the throne empty, the palace began searching for a new queen. Young women from across the empire were gathered, not for love, but for selection. This was a process rooted in power, not romance. Among these women was Esther. Esther's background could not have been more ordinary. She was Jewish. She was an orphan. She had been raised by her cousin Mordecai after losing her parents. She lived quietly, far from political influence, far from royal ambition. Before Esther entered the palace, Mordecai gave her one instruction that would shape everything that followed. She was not to reveal her Jewish identity. This was not cowardice. It was wisdom born from experience in a world where minorities lived carefully. Esther entered the palace without expectation. She did not attempt to stand out. She did not demand attention. She listened. She learned. She adapted. Her strength was not aggressive. It was steady. As time passed, her character became visible. In a place filled with competition and insecurity, her calm presence was unusual. She showed humility instead of entitlement, patience instead of urgency, wisdom instead of manipulation. These qualities reached the king. Out of all the women, Esther found favor. She was crowned queen. An orphan now wore a crown. A Jewish woman now sat beside the most powerful ruler in the world, yet no one knew who she truly was. While Esther lived inside the palace, Mordecai remained outside. He stayed near the gates, observing life as it unfolded. He paid attention to details others ignored. One day, this vigilance mattered. Mordecai uncovered a plot against the king. Without hesitation, he reported it. The threat was stopped. The event was recorded in the Royal Chronicles, the official record of the empire. But Mordecai received no reward. No recognition followed. The moment passed quietly. At the same time, another figure rose to prominence. His name was Haman. He was elevated above all other officials, given authority and honor. Everyone was ordered to bow before him as a sign of respect. Everyone except Mordecai. Mordecai's refusal was not loud. It was simple, yet it struck deeply. Haman's pride could not tolerate it. What might have remained a personal grievance grew into something darker. Haman did not seek correction. He sought removal, and not just of one man. He devised a plan that targeted an entire people. A decree was written, sealed with royal authority, threatening the Jewish population throughout the empire. Fear spread, communities mourned, families fasted, hope weakened. When Esther learned of the decree, the danger became real. Mordecai sent her a message that carried both urgency and truth. Silence, he warned, would not protect her. Her position carried responsibility. Esther faced a choice. Approaching the king without invitation was dangerous. But doing nothing was worse. She chose courage. She prepared carefully. She fasted. She reflected. She strengthened her resolve. When the moment came, she stepped forward. The king saw her. Favor replaced fear. Esther spoke with wisdom and patience. She waited for the right moment. And when it arrived, she revealed the truth. What had been hidden was exposed. What had been planned in secret was stopped. The outcome reshaped everything. Fear turned into relief. Mourning turned into joy. The people were preserved. The story of Esther endures not because of power, but because of purpose. It reminds us that silence does not mean absence, that preparation often happens unseen, and that courage, when paired with wisdom, can change the course of history.